वन्दे गुरुपदद्वन्द्वम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम् रक्तशुक्लप्रभामिश्रम् अतर्क्यं त्रैपुरम् अहः विशुद्धिज्ञानदेहाय त्रिवेदी दिव्यचक्षुषे श्रेयः प्राप्तिनिमित्ताय नमः सोमार्धधारिणे नमो यामिनीनाथरेखालङ्कृत कुन्तलाम् भवानीं भवसन्तापनिर्वापण सुधानदीम्
सारस्वत सिद्धयेव शुद्ध सर्वोद्भावलसति वाच्यवाचकात्मा काश्मीरो जयति जगद्धितावतारः स श्रीमान् अभिनवगुप्त देशिकेन्द्रः अमृतेश्वर्यम्बा समेत अमृतानन्दनाथ श्रीगुरुः सर्वकारणभूता शक्तिः.
So when we speak of Kaula, Krama and Pratyabhijñā, the threefold division is based on the differences in the approach. So the sadhana patha, the path of sadhana differs in the three. Pratyabhijñā is purely vichara, okay? Whereas Krama and Kaula are having a mixture of Kriya also. That is why Ācārya Abhinavagupta, when he wanted to bring all the three streams together, because he saw the necessity for both. Pure vichara will make it unapproachable for a commoner. Even if he is not the regular commoner we are talking about, a spiritually inclined commoner, still it will become very unapproachable. So the Krama and the Kaula will assist in that sense. So going by that, Trika is this. From the textual point of view, when we approach, then Trika stands for the Āgama Saṃpradāya, Spanda Saṃpradāya, and Pratyabhijñā Saṃpradāya. So what do we mean by the textual approach? Textual approach means when we see the entire corpus of literature which we use as the pramana here, we can classify it under these three sections. One is the Āgama, the other is Spanda, the third is Pratyabhijñā. Okay, what is an Āgama? Āgama is very simple to understand. All the revealed scriptures are Āgama. So though technically Vedas are also included, we don't usually draw much material from the Vedic corpus. We draw from texts like Swachhanda Tantra, Netra Tantra, the most favorite Malini Vijayotara, and Śiva Sūtra. Śiva Sūtra is also part of Āgama because it is a revealed text, not a composed text. So Āgama is the first, all right? Then comes the Spanda. What is Spanda? Spanda is based on the Moola Āgama, the interpretation by the Siddhas. So Āgama we can call it as a Divya, which is divine in origin. Whereas Spanda is of Siddha origin. The Spanda or Spanda Karika, all these, okay, belongs to the Spanda stream. They are treated by us as Siddha Purushas, slightly above the Manava, but definitely they cannot be at par with the Divya. So under the Spanda, we have the Spanda Karika, to which we know Ācārya Kṣemarāja wrote two commentaries, Spanda Nirnaya and Spanda Sandoha. Sandoha is on only one, the first Karika, okay, whereas the Spanda Nirnaya is on the entire text. And over the Spanda Sutras, we only have commentatorial literature. Commentatorial literature by Utpala Vaishnava and others, apart from Ācārya Kṣemarāja. This stream is the Spanda. The third is a kind of a digested content. I take the content from the Āgama. Pandakarika is direct application of the theory into practice for attaining the Divya Bhava. I integrate these two, I digest it and present it in a manner that is readily usable by a sadhaka. So under this third category, we have the Pratyabhijñā Shastra, because all the texts under the Pratyabhijñā Shastra are all digested texts. Okay, right from the Shiva Drishti of Ācārya Somananda. Starting point is Shiva Drishti. After that, we have the Pratyabhijñā Sūtras. Then we have the Ishvara Pratyabhijñā, the Karikas, Vimarśinī, Vritti Vimarśinī, etc., etc. So all these comes under the Pratyabhijñā Shastra. So that is why I said in the second classification, it is the text-based approach. How do we classify the text? So one belongs to the Divyoga, the second belongs to the Siddhoga, the third belongs to the Manavoga. Manavoga is the Pratyabhijñā Shastra, which is a digested content. So Śiva Sūtra belongs to the Āgama Saṃpradāya as per this threefold classification. When it comes to Śiva Sūtra, there are at least three legends as to how Śiva Sūtra came to be composed. First is that it was revealed in dream to Ācārya Vasugupta by Shiva himself. This is the first legend. This we get substantiation in Ācārya Kallata's commentary. The second is in Bhaskara's commentary on Śiva Sūtra. Bhaskara was if you recall, I was speaking about one Bhaskara Kantha in the Sharda. He's a much later, right? This Bhaskara is a much earlier author, almost few 10 or 20 years after Ācārya Abhinavagupta himself. In his commentary, we come across the second version of the legend, wherein a Siddha Purusha reveals the Śiva Sūtras to Ācārya Vasugupta in dream. So it is not Shiva, but it is a Siddha Purusha. The third we get in Ācārya Kṣemarāja's commentary, wherein Shiva appears in the dream of Ācārya Vasugupta. He tells him that the sutras are inscribed on a stone in one of the caves, the Shankaropala. And he goes there, he turns the stones and he finds the sutras inscribed. He copies that or he memorizes that and he comes. This is the third. But in all the three narratives, there are two facts which are quite evident. Number one, it is a revealed text, either revealed by Shiva in dream or revealed by a Siddha in dream or by Shiva himself in the form of an inscription on the stone. Second, the person to whom it was revealed in all the three is only Ācārya Vasugupta. So to that extent, there is a common agreement that Ācārya Vasugupta was the one who propagated Śiva Sūtras. How did he do it? He did it by teaching to his disciple Ācārya Kallata, and from Ācārya Kallata, it came down to the various other Acharyas. So Śiva Sūtras, divine texts belonging to the Āgama Saṃpradāya, revealed for the first time by Ācārya Vasugupta. Now, over Śiva Sūtra, there are close to 4 commentaries known to us, which is available. One is the Vritti. Vritti, we do not know who the author of the Vritti is. The one by Bhaskara is also old, almost contemporary to Ācārya Kṣemarāja. The other is by Ācārya Kṣemarāja himself. The last, so that is called as the Bhaskara's commentary is called as the Vartika. Ācārya Kṣemarāja is called as a Vimarśinī. And there is the fourth also called as Vartika, but this is by another author by name Varadaraja. So Varadaraja's Vartika is a poetic version of Vimarśinī. Vimarśinī by Ācārya Kṣemarāja is written in prose. He more or less followed it almost verbatim and did it in a poetic form. So there are only 2 which we can totally rely on when it comes to understanding the text. That is the Vartika of Bhaskara and the Vimarśinī of Ācārya Kṣemarāja. So we will see with the Vimarśinī of Ācārya Kṣemarāja, because that is closer to the understanding that we have. I will try to incorporate some points from Bhaskara's Vartika wherever there is a disagreement between the 2 Acharyas. If there is an agreement, we don't have to repeat it. And there are 77 sutras totally in the text. 22 in the first section, which is the Śāmbhavopāya. 10 in the second section, which is the Śāktopāya. And 45 in the third section, which is the Āṇavopāya. So Āṇavopāya is the longest when it comes to the total sutras. But Śāmbhavopāya is largest when it comes to the explanation offered by Ācārya Kṣemarāja. Each of these sections we will consider with the bhashya of Ācārya Kṣemarāja. So out of the 2 bhashyas, the reason why we choose Ācārya Kṣemarāja's bhashya is, number 1, it is in prose. So it is easy for us to understand. This is the very simplest explanation of the choice. But further, the gap between Bhattabhaskara and Ācārya Kṣemarāja is almost 120 to 130 years. Bhattabhaskara preceded Ācārya Kṣemarāja. Actually, he preceded even or predated even Ācārya Abhinavagupta. So the kind of insights that we get in Ācārya Kṣemarāja's commentary is missing in the previous one. Because until then, the proper systematization of the Trika school, which was the contribution of Ācārya Abhinavagupta, had not taken place, obviously. So we find in Bhattabhaskara's commentary some good insights with respect to the historicity of certain traditions and concepts, but we will find the best possible explanations in Ācārya Kṣemarāja. Wherever I feel that there is some important point that needs to be known from the previous commentary, I will just share that idea. So Śiva Sūtra per se consists of 77 sutras or 78 sutras. There are 2 such readings. I prefer to go with 78 as the number. Though in Jayadev Singh's edition, there are only 77 sutras. There are 78 sutras for 2 reasons. Number 78 itself is having a very sacred bearing when it comes to the Trika. I will come to it in the Śāktopāya section when we speak about the Matrikacha. So it was more likely that 78 was the sutra, and obviously there is a sutra also available. So for what reason Jayadev Singh missed out or chose to omit that sutra, he has not given any explanation anywhere in the text. So we will go by the 78, divided into 3 upayas or 3 sections. The first is the Śāmbhavopāya. Then comes the Śāktopāya, the shortest one, with 10. The last is the Āṇavopāya with 46. So the reason why Āṇavopāya has the largest number of sutras is because most of the sadhakas belong to the Pashu category or Pashu Varga. Therefore, Āṇavopāya is most likely to be the most suitable path. Whereas Shakta is for definitely the Siddha variety amongst the sadhakas, and Śāmbhavopāya is definitely not for any of the current day sadhakas. It is only for the Divya upasakas. So almost 46 sutras being dedicated to the Āṇavopāya section shows that this is a more practical tip that given by Shiva through Ācārya Vasugupta, because we have seen that how the Śiva Sūtra itself came into being.